Hi, it's Mike with Mablandworks. Welcome back to a new video. Today I'm starting a new job in Wall Township. A customer who had a new pool installed needed some topsoil and grading along with a few French drains. This is going to be video 1 in a 2-part series. I started this job late December going into January, so it was really important for me to get the topsoil into the backyard as soon as possible. I started with 2 truckloads of topsoil, and I wanted to get that in on day 1. Temperatures are relatively warm, so the ground was easy to work with. The job had a very steep entrance and exit to the work area. At first I was very uncomfortable doing it, so I would go in with all my weight uphill. As time goes on, I'll get more used to the site, and I'll go in whichever way works best for my task. It was very important to the customer that we get the topsoil around the slab. He had concerns that animals like chipmunks could start burrowing underneath the slab for the winter, and obviously any voids underneath the concrete would eventually cause a crack. I'm having to stop from time to time because there's a lot of concrete and rocks mixed in with the fill dirt the pool company used to grade off the property. They brought in a few loads of fill and lots of concrete mixed in with it. I'm using the MT85 on this job site. It's a smaller machine, but when it comes to doing the finish work, there's nothing really better than that. It's a track machine, so working in the winter with wet conditions, the traction is just unbeatable. The Thomas that I have, the large full-size skid steer, on such a steep slope would be a problem getting in and out. And being a wheeled machine, it would rut and sink into the ground relatively easy. This is the Bobcat E26 I purchased at the end of the year. It's a small compact excavator, easy to get into tight places, very light footprint. And I also got it with 2 buckets, a 12-inch bucket, which is on the machine right now, and the 24-inch bucket, which is for more like for footings or hogging out material.
Back here at the Apple Ridge job in Wall Township, tidying up the drainage. We've got a Y with the clean out down, connects with this other one that used to go over, down, and out. And this one here used to come up through here, then out with the black pipe. So we just cleaned it all, put it in on the ground, secured it in place. Now we got to do the French drain here. It's gonna go from that corner all the way to that corner and then out into the woods to daylight. After that, we just got the finished grading And that side of the project is done. It's very wet today. And we had a storm for Christmas Eve that knocked over this tree. I don't know if you can see this. We'll try and chop this up. And get it dumped. Make some good firewood. The branches we'll just chop up and throw in the trailer. Take that out to the dump. The stump I'll clean out with the excavator and try and put it back upright. With that steep incline over there, it'll be very hard to get that stump out of here with the excavator. And as muddy as everything is, I wouldn't be able to move it probably for a week or two. And by then the ground's gonna freeze and I won't be able to finish grading, you know, the track marks that I leave coming in and out of here. So I think it's just gonna stay here for now. Worst case, we'll grind it in the spring.
Unfortunately, I lost some of the video loading the logs. I have the first load going into the trailer with logs, and then after that I went and dumped it at the farm. My neighbor, he's going to chop that up into firewood, season it for a year, and sell it next winter. These are the rotten branches from the second stem. So that's pretty much trash. And then this is all the small branch stuff. And again, we just cut it to the size for the machine to grab it comfortably and get in and out of that fence area. And we'll take that to the farm, that'll go actually to the dump. And what they'll do is they'll run it through a tub grinder and sift it and sell it as mulch next year. This little machine does awesome with this kind of work. Back when I was running the tree service, this is the reason I got the MT85 with this grapple, which is the grapple I used to use on my tractor. So the trick really is just stack it nice and neat, and then you get a nice big bite, and off you go. And if it's stacked just right, you can get almost all the branches in one go. So that's always nice. Now we started on the French drain portion of the job. We have a laser set up so we know our pitch is correct. So we're going to be grading away from the pool, and then in that deepest part of the trench, that's where the pipe is going to go, and we're going to surround it with 3/4 inch clean stone. It's going to have fabric between the stone and the dirt to keep the stone from migrating into the soil and keep it clean. It'll make the water run through the stone faster and into the pipe easier, and just be more effective that way. Now this part of the job is taking place on a Saturday. Unfortunately, because it's winter, there's reduced hours for my vendors, so getting the clean stone today was just not going to happen. So for the most part, we just dug the trench. We finished grading on the back side of the pool area, so that's 100% done. I'm going to leave this trench open for a couple days. I came back Monday, I believe. And then in this area, the customer had a wet spot and he didn't know what it was. Now this customer's only been in this house for a few months. He recently bought the house, and a lot of this stuff just is not known to him. It's something the previous owner did, and nobody really knows what's going on. So we decided to open up the area to see what we find, and here we go. We found a pipe, and we started getting water just gushing out of this area. I wasn't sure exactly what it was, but later on we end up figuring out that it's a dry well that was put there, and we don't know the reason for that. And then we discover the reason for that later on as well. As we go on, the answers kind of show up, and then we understand what's going on. So here I'm just trying to expose around the pipe and kind of dig a little trough for the water to go out into the woods and drain. This is the end of part 1. Part 2 will be up shortly. Once again, this is Mike from Mab Landworks. Thank you for watching. See you next time.